Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. Today we're coming to you from the rooftop of Smithfield Plaza in Scarborough. It is our location as we bring you the details on the big stories happening right here in Tobago. As usual, we've got lots to share with you, but we'll start with this week's headlines. We have highlights from Tobago's fiscal 2023 budget presentation. 3 Tobago students are beneficiaries of scholarships from the Chinese Embassy. The Tobago Heritage Festival gets set to return, and we take a look at how young people are getting connected to our cultural heritage. And fathers got the gift of laughter on Father's Day with the Daddy Laugh Now comedy show. We have all these stories and more for you when Let's Talk Tobago returns. So stay with us. The Tobago House of Assembly consulted with various stakeholders across the island before completing its budget request. The budget presentation was recently made by Chief Secretary Honorable Fali Augustine at the Assembly Legislature. We have more in this report.
It's going to take $3.97 billion in fiscal 2023 to continue making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. That figure is the budgetary request being made by Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Honorable Fali Augustine. The Chief Secretary delivered his inaugural budget presentation titled Towards a Smarter, Greener and More Autonomous Tobago. Mr. Augustine wants $3.07 billion towards recurrent expenditure. A further $900 million has been estimated for development expenditure. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection is projected to receive the largest share of recurrent expenditure. It's followed by the Division of Education, Research and Technology. The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development is also assigned a significant portion of the proposed recurrent budgetary allocation.
Education, Research and Technology, $485.06 million. Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, $161.34 million. Infrastructure, Quarries and Environment, $455.36 million. Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, $250.98 million. Health, Wellness and Social Protection, $918.40 million.
Development expenditure has been earmarked for several areas. These include tourism, food security, housing and road works.
The estimates for the development program for fiscal 2023 amounts to $900 million. This represents an increase of $636 million over the parliamentary allocation for fiscal 2022. The estimates are disaggregated as follows. Pre-investment, $3.40 million. Economic infrastructure, $360.27 million. Social infrastructure, $400.63 million. And multi-sectorial and other services, $135.7 million.
$59.59 million is requested for the Unemployment Relief Program URP and $53.17 million for the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program CPEP. The Finance Secretary highlighted some avenues for funding the THA's 2022 to 2023 budgetary proposal.
We are actively pursuing the PPP modalities of financing to execute some of our housing development projects, as well as other major public infrastructure works. Let today's budget presentation serve as a public notice that we are calling investors far and wide to come and do business with the THA for Tobago. Another possible source of financing of the 2023 estimates will take the form of foreign direct investments on the island and funds mobilized through engagements of persons in the diaspora. Attracting FDIs in the capital producing sectors will be a key priority of this administration.
Mr. Augustine hopes that people in all sectors will work towards building a greater Tobago. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
3 Tobago students were awarded scholarships by the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Trinidad and Tobago, Fang Chu. The youngsters were awarded at a special ceremony at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough. Here's more.
Today's occasion also reminds me of the inspiring words of the late Dr. Eric Williams. Remember, therefore, each and every one of you, that you carry the future of the Trinidad and Tobago in your school bags. The hope of this nation lies on you. May this achievement encourage you to work even harder as we continue to support you. And I believe you will be the pillars of the nation through your future endeavors.
From start, she has always been, a bright student. She's always been willing to learn. She did have some setbacks, standard 5 into Form 1. However, I must say that I am proud of that, she regained, catch back herself and is focused.
Education to me is very important, especially as a young child, because you have people who doesn't or not able to get education in certain countries around the world, and for me, I'm very grateful to have one.
This morning, our adventure is in the field of education, and we're here to support our young charges, and as a demonstration of goodwill, the People's Republic of China is bestowing upon these young people a starting scholarship. And when we say starting scholarship, it's because in this initiative, there is a commitment that once you students continue to excel, that the People's Republic of China, through its embassy, will want to continue supporting your academic endeavors.
I feel very proud and happy about myself. I hope my mommy feels she is happy that I get this scholarship. She happy that I get this scholarship, and I am too. I am very proud and happy.
I'm proud to be here today to witness this. He makes me proud today. He's a very caring child, very loving, positive attitude.
I felt very shocked, because I didn't have no sort of mindset on it. I just come home yesterday and he told me, well, did they tell you anything? And then he explained to me where it is.
We intend to, especially for this new term, because she's going into Form 4, so it will assist her with buying, purchasing her school supplies, her books and that kind of thing. So it is in fact coming in very handy.
This country recently observed Labor Day 2022, an occasion to recognize the importance of workers' rights in Trinidad and Tobago. And in joining in Tobago's celebrations, Chief Secretary Honorable Fali Augustine says the Tobago House of Assembly is focused on improving conditions for the workers at the lower end of the income scale. Here's more.
June 19th is Labor Day, a significant date on the country's calendar that highlights the importance of the rights of workers. It was first observed on June 19, 1973, and shone a light on the need for better working conditions for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It also remembers the father of the national labor movement, Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler. Right here in Tobago, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine walked in solidarity with the trade union movement. He's also an advocate for justice for workers.
Today, on Labor Day, the call must be for justice. Not equity, but justice. Because equity says that we give everybody the same amount. Justice says that we give those who need more the most. so that they will have equal opportunity with those who already have. Within the first 6 months in office, we have already made moves to increase the salaries of the lowest paid among us, our CPEP and URP workers, by 50.40%.
The Chief Secretary says his administration will continue to stand in support of workers to ensure they can achieve a better quality of life.
We need to do away with these month-to-month contracts, these 3 months contracts, and give a minimum of 3 years contract for our workers. We have already come up with a design and a plan to provide a housing solution that will cost you $300,000 or less, so that our daily rated workers could afford somewhere to live.
The Chief Secretary says families are the backbone of society. He says equality of opportunity will allow Tobagonians to improve their lives.
You deserve better working conditions. You deserve to be treated well. The bedrock of our development must be the development of every single family, every single child, every single village, to ensure that workers are satisfied and that there are improvements for every child, every family, and every village.
The march started at Gulf City Mall at Lowlands and ended at the Scarborough Esplanade. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
We have to take a break, but when we return, we'll tell you all about a key marine conservation initiative right here in Tobago. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the 53rd General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union from August 15th to 17th at the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort in beautiful Tobago. This year's theme, Media and Information Literacy. Tobago is a smaller sister in the twin island republic of Trinidad and Tobago, nestled in the heart of the Southern Caribbean. Enjoy 116 square miles of historical sites and award-winning eco-friendly land and marine spaces, including the magical Nylon Pool. And you're just a ferry away from a Trinidad adventure. Our warm hospitality, rich cuisine, and unique traditions will inspire you to extend your stay. Tranquil Tobago is where the Caribbean connects for the 53rd CBU Assembly. To register and enjoy discounts on Caribbean airline flights, visit www.caribbeanbroadcastunion.org. Come and experience beyond ordinary.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Now, the Marine Tobago Initiative is a marine conservation project spearheaded by the Institute of Marine Affairs. The Tobago Tourism Agency Limited has been playing an active role in the project since it was launched earlier this year. This time around, though, the agency is helping to revitalize the island's seagrass population. In our next story, we'll tell you how and why this is being done. Listen up.
Planting grass in the sea may sound like an absurd idea at first, but seagrasses are vital to our environment. Atish Kanhai, a research officer at the Institute of Marine Affairs, the IMA, says these marine plants are quite versatile.
Seagrasses serve many different purposes for the ecosystem. For one, they help stabilize the shoreline in synthetic sediment. They also provide habitats, nurseries for things like shellfish and different fish species. And they also help purify the water. And they help promote biodiversity in general as a productive ecosystem.
This seagrass replanting activity is just one of the IMA and BPTT's recently launched pilot project titled Marine Resilience Initiative Marin Tobago. It started in April and will last for 18 months. The project involves finding ways to restore and improve the health of Tobago's seagrasses and corals, especially in the event of environmental disasters. One way of doing so is replanting seagrasses in areas where they were once prolific, like Kilgwin Bay. It also involves facilitating educational seminars with local stakeholders like the Speyside Eco-Marine Park Rangers, SEMPA, and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, TTAL. Director of Tourism Product Development and Destination Management, Narendra Ramgulam, explains why the agency is a part of this environmental initiative.
What we're doing today is a bit in line with ethical tourism as well, because what we are doing is actually leaving something for the environment to grow, to develop, to sustain itself, to preserve itself, to maintain itself, and to ensure that there is sustainability for future generations and for our source markets as well, because now there's a trend where travelers who are coming now, they're looking for high value type products, and doing something as simple as this will ensure that there is a quality product at the end of the day that is of high value.
This was the first seagrass replanting trial under the Marine project. Hundreds of seagrass shoots were planted on this particular day at 2 sites along Kilgwin Bay. But the project is not just for environmental stakeholders. Everyone is being encouraged to get involved.
We came, me and 3 other members of SAMPA came because we are aware of how important seagrass is to turtles, especially the critical endangered ones. We want them to come back to this nesting site, especially this one because it's not as populated as the rest.
It is our hope that through education and sensitization that they will understand how this benefits the average Tobagonian and Trinidadian, why it makes sense to maintain biodiversity, maintain seagrass beds in terms of fisheries population, in terms of the environment. So once we get people on the ground to take ownership of it, I think the project stands a better chance of success.
The planting sites at Kilgwin Bay will now be incorporated into the IMA's current seagrass monitoring schedule. The monitoring takes place several times per year to check on the state of seagrasses around the island. This checking component will add to the data collection about the condition of the island's coastal and marine areas. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago is anticipating the return of the Tobago Heritage Festival, which has been held virtually for the past 2 years. But there's also a lot in it for the youth. The Junior Heritage Festival is providing a platform and an opportunity for the intergenerational transfer of knowledge using a range of safe and interactive activities. You'll find out more in our next story. Have a look.
Junior Heritage Festival 2022 is on. The festival's theme is Ancestral Flames, Rebirth of a Nation. This year's festivities will be executed by the Department of Culture in collaboration with the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited. Acting Cultural Officer 2, Jessie Taylor, says this series of events is aimed at inspiring the youth of today. It's all in an effort to rekindle our rich cultural heritage legacy following the impact of COVID-19.
It has been out for a very long time, but we found that the children are really what we have for our future. So we are back to preserve what we once had. And as it is named, Ancestral Flames, truly the rebirthing of a nation, as we've seen here, as we've started today. So the attempt is to encourage all our youth and all our children to go back to that time where we created the old time days, bring back the old time days, I should say, and to revisit those past times, storytelling, and to engender in them a sense of hope and generation that will be birthing to keep the traditions alive.
The first school to experience the caravan was Scarborough Roman Catholic Primary School. The students learned about heritage and traditional Afro-Caribbean dances, music, drumming, and games we once played. In all, 15 schools will experience this.
I did enjoy all of the heritage performances today. I did love all of them this morning. The parade was historically good and good.
There'll also be junior heritage exhibitions at Fort King George on July 27th and 28th. Also scheduled for July 27th is a Tobago Heritage Science Competition.
We also have what is called When Science and Culture Collides, which we are encouraging all the children in the various schools to take part in this science competition and create a working tourism model of some kind of project or some kind of thing that they innovate, create, that they can show where we bridge traditional culture with technology. Because you see where we're going, the world is fast-paced, it's technologically savvy. So we have where science collides with culture. Additionally, we have Junior Miss Heritage and a Little Miss Heritage, which will happen up at the 4th and the 27th and the 28th.
The festival ends on August 1st at the Emancipation Day celebrations at Tobago Heritage Park with presentations and judging of the Junior Heritage Queen. I'm Marina Elaine for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's been a while since staff at the Office of the Chief Secretary has been able to get together and get outdoors. So employees and their family members took the opportunity to do just that on Corpus Christi at the Buku Integrated Facility with a 5-a-side football competition and a cooler line. The theme was One Family, One Love. Here are the highlights.
A pleasant good afternoon to everyone present. Let me recognize all the heads of departments and units under the Office of the Chief Secretary, as well as our hard-working organizing committee. It was about 6 weeks ago that I would have challenged the heads of department to do something to bring all staff together as a family and to have fun. And ladies and gentlemen, I thought we would have had just a simple acknowledgement for fathers. However, they went way beyond my expectation. It is with a glad heart this afternoon that I welcome you to the first of what we hope would be many fun events that the Office of the Chief Secretary will have in 2022.
Let me encourage you all, we have to find a lot more time to get together, whether it's as departments or as a division as a whole. So have fun, be safe.
Coming up next, dads in Tobago had their bellies filled with laughter on Father's Day. We'll tell you more about the Daddy Laugh Now comedy show held at Shaw Park Complex right after this break. Stay with us. Laughter is good medicine. That's why on Father's Day, the promoters of Purity Entertainment treated fathers in Tobago to a special comedy show entitled Daddy Laugh Now, held at Shaw Park Complex. Have a look at how it went.
One can argue there is no better gift than laughter, and surely the auditorium of the Shaw Park Cultural Complex was filled with it, as comedians and entertainers had the audience in stitches. Promoter of the event, Leslie Paulson, better known as Isaac 98.1 FM's DJ Polo, says the show was done to better appreciate the patriarchs of society.
What do we really do for fathers? When you talk about Mother's Day, is everything for mothers, and nothing is wrong with that. But, we really decided that we wanted to do something for the fathers, and to show appreciation, to say, hey, Daddy will love you for all the hard work that you do. But Daddy, come, we've been through so much. You understand? But Daddy, come and laugh. Let we enjoy together as a family.
The lineup featured a humorous cast of special performers inclusive of Jonesy, Kesh Ramsey, Alan the Entertainer, and comedy king Larry Joseph.
Oh God, it was nice. It was nice. I haven't been to Tobago for at least 3 years, and this time, I got such a nice feeling being here in Tobago because I was treated so well by your people here.
The Daddy Laughner comedy show definitely appealed to the palates of patrons, as they've been calling to have similar events throughout the year, something that Purity Entertainment will consider. In the meantime, Mr. Paulson is just grateful for those who attended.
To all the fathers who are seeing me right now, your boy Polo, you understand? And those of you who are doing a great job in terms of parenting, keeping up on everything that you have to do as fathers, kudos. There's none like you. You understand? So you just continue doing what it is that you do best. Continue loving, continue protecting, continue being that king, that priest, so that you are.
Promoters are already planning the Daddy Laughner event for 2023, as they hope it can become a calendar event in Tobago. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago's consistent performances in the pool have been paying off at both the national and regional levels, including a record-breaking performance at the Pan American Age Group Championships. Here's more.
Even after a 2-year slowdown, the Tobago YMCA Aqua Warriors continue to make a mark on national swimming. The group enjoyed success at the recently concluded National Long Course Championships hosted by the Aquatic Sports Association of Trinidad and Tobago. The meet was held at the National Aquatic Center in Balmain Couva in Trinidad. Aqua Warriors coach Mosey Dinoon says the athletes' successes have been due to their hard work and dedication.
The Tobago YMCA Aqua Warriors was founded in 2014 under the Tobago YMCA umbrella. This project was more or less Dr. Eastland Mackenzie's baby brainchild. So we have formed the club in 2014, and since then we have been doing really well in national and regional swimming championships. It's nice when you have athletes who are committed and dedicated to showing up and showing out every single time. When you go to swim meets, they are willing to do the events, they don't back down from a challenge. So it's good that it's really just hard work always shows the rewards. So the rewards that we are reaping now is because of the hard work of the athletes, the parents, the support system that is there.
Mr. Dinoon is pleased with the progress of the club. He says competitive swimming requires sacrifice.
We are very elated, we are happy of the work that we put in and the rewards that come from, everything. It's not easy getting up at 4 in the morning or 3:30 because we are actually national swimmers as well as national coaches as well. So we get up in the morning and we do our training session at 3 a.m. and then we train the swimmers at 5 a.m. Recently we took part in the National Open Long Course Championships where the team came back with 16 medals and 4 trophies. This is 1, 2, 3 of the 4 trophies. That's mainly the best that we have done for this season, 2022 season thus far.
Assistant coach Rochelle Pierre, who often competes alongside the team, says seeing her swimmers excel is rewarding.
Well, the thing that drives me about coaching is helping athletes, swimmers that are interested in the sport achieve their goals. It's a very satisfying feeling to, know that you contributed in some way or the other to keep them motivated and dedicated and to really be successful in reaching where they want to go.
Teenager Jacob Cox admits that it is challenging juggling school and swimming, but he's motivated by the winning feeling.
It's pretty difficult with the schoolwork and training, but yeah, I make it work. It does feel pretty good, but I just get more courage to keep pushing to get better.
In all, at the national championships, the Aqua Warriors swam away with 16 medals, 5 each for Rochelle Pierre and Mosey Dinoon, 3 for Shidel Johnson, 2 for Onella Walker, and Jacob Cox 1 medal. Walker followed up her national showing with 5 medals, including 3 gold, at the recent Pan American Game Age Group Championships. And she swam away with a national record to boot in the girls 18 and over 100 meter backstroke event in 1 minute 4.18 seconds. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Well, we've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to like our Office of the Chief Secretary THA Facebook page, visit our website, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and productive week.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It is a beautiful Monday morning, and we're really happy to be in your company. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh my gosh, Tobago, good morning, good morning, good morning. Viewers, it's good to be in your company this morning. I am Rhea Richardson George. Julian is still not back with us yet, but we trust that wherever he is staying safe, and he will be back with us as soon as possible. So like I said, viewers, it's Monday morning, Monday the 27th of June, 2022, and it's just about 7:01 a.m. and we've got quite an interesting program for you today. Over the weekend, you know, we had some heavy rainfall, and just to let you know, kicking us off this morning, we're going to be chatting with Tima about Tobago's preparedness for the season, as well as for over the next few days. They'll tell us more about it. But I'm happy to know that there were no casualties, no major injuries or accidents as a result of yesterday's heavy rains throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So this was not just Tobago. All right, so we get some more information coming up on that. As well, we saw over the weekend where UNC political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, set to lead the UNC again despite the low voter turnout as a result of the weather yesterday. So we're looking at that. And as I mentioned, Tima's being on the program a little bit later on this morning. Before we get right into things, let's just go over to our news in 90 seconds. All right, so active tropical wave. TEMA and the TNT Meteorological Office are monitoring a weather system west of Tobago. It is a strong tropical wave that has the potential of developing into a cyclone. According to the TNT Met Office, it has a 40% chance of becoming a tropical storm within the next 48 hours. Although there is no tropical storm watch or warning, Tobago will experience the effects of the weather pattern from tomorrow, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Heavy rainfall and gusty winds are expected, and the public is advised to take the necessary precaution. Charged for false report. An ex-Special Reserve Police officer was charged for encouraging a person to make a false report. The offender is ex-SRP Woman Constable Renisha Williams from Buku. According to police reports, Williams attempted to pervert the course of justice by counseling a person into making a false report. Investigations by the Professional Standards Bureau led to the arrest. Williams was undergoing training at the police academy in St. James when she was arrested. She will appear before the magistrate court today. Kamla retains leadership of UNC. Opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar retains the leadership of the United National Congress. The party held its internal elections yesterday. Prasad Bisessa secured a landslide victory against her opponents, former Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan, former MP Ramona Ramdial, and former MP Glenn Ramadar Singh. However, there was a low voter turnout as only 10% of members showed up to cast their votes. There were reports of voter irregularities from Ramdial, while other candidates hoped the membership chose wisely about the future of the party. Prasad Bisessa says now that the elections are over, she is ready to work with all within the party, including her opponents, to move forward. And that's just about it for our news in 90 seconds. And now we head over to some birthdays, some really interesting birthdays over the weekend and today as well. So we head over into some birthdays. All right, so we've got a special birthday here, and this young man, I have to say this young man, Ronald Leslie, father of Lois Leslie, Peter, Dunstan, and the others, celebrated his 93rd birthday over the weekend. So congratulations to you. This is 3 scores and 10 plus plus. So love going out to you this morning, Mr. Ronald Leslie. We have as well this morning celebrating our birthday, lovely Carissa Small. Happy birthday going out to you, Carissa Small. Love from the Tobago Updates family. And we've got the lovely twin, Arlene and Avril Allen. I tell you, never a dull moment with either or both of these two lovely ladies around. Super talented, super beautiful, super pleasant, super good folks. So happy birthday going out to you guys. Trust that you enjoy. We've got my very good friend, wife of Pastor Lorne Green, Creamy Green, celebrating her birthday today. So love going out to you, Creamy, from the Georges and the Tobago Updates family. My very good friend out there. This is Lincoln Bacchus. Lincoln, happy birthday going out to you this morning. And I see in the plate there, you know, he's got his favorite dish, anything to do with curry and roti. So happy birthday going out to you this morning, Lincoln. And this gentleman, we want to send congratulations this morning to this gentleman. His name is Ezra Budd. Congratulations to Ezra on attaining his bachelor's in behavioral science with emphasis on psychology. So this congratulations greeting is going out to you, Ezra, from your good friend, Kenneth Phillips. So love going out to you this morning from the Tobago Updates Morning Show family as well. All right, so viewers, let me just let you know what's coming up on the program. As we mentioned earlier on, you know, we will be chatting with members of TEMA this morning on Tobago's preparedness, what we need to do to be ready for the next few days, as well as the upcoming hurricane season, what we need to have in place, what we need to be aware of. All right, so we're going to be chatting with members of TEMA. And then a little bit later on, we're going to be chatting with Mr. George Stanley Baird, and we're going to be talking about the budget estimates. What are some of the concerns that he may have? Because it's not all, you know, roses and, you know, and honey for some persons with regards to this year's budget estimates. But we're going to hear from George Stanley Baird. And closing us off this morning, we've got a son of the soil, Alvian Legol, who's going to be chatting with us about his new book. So we're going to get the backstory a little bit to remind us of who he is, because he no longer lives here in Tobago, but he's also going to tell us about what he's been up to and what prompted his book, Paying It Forward with Al. So that's coming up on the program for us this morning. So viewers, like we said, lots of interesting things. Yesterday we also saw the Tobago Heritage Festival Opening Night Gala 2022 audition, which took place at the Shore Park Complex. All right, so and this is all part of as we gear up to the Tobago Heritage Festival 2022, and already persons are looking at being here. Persons have booked tickets. Guest houses are being booked, some hotels, but they're definitely coming for that Tobago experience. All right, so Tobago, we've got some hosting to do, so let's be prepared for that. All right, so that's just about it coming up for our for us at this point. We've got lots more coming up on the program, so we encourage you this morning to share the live. Share the live.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Staying Alive, the benefit concert.
If you know, yeah, then you know, yeah.
Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The Giants of Trinidad and Tobago on one stage. Guess the band, Freetown Collective, Three Canal, Orange Sky, Machelle Montano. Plus, many more artists to be announced. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com. All Häagen-Dazs outlets nationwide. And Ojo World, Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The musical giants of Trinidad and Tobago, conquering all the obstacles. Staying Alive, the concert.
Are you an artist, reader, or passionate about culture? Then join us on Saturday, 2nd July from 3 p.m. for the official Tobago book launch of The Chronicles of Kyrie. Held at One Love Arts, Atelier and Emporium, located at Wallfield Straits, Canby, Tobago. An evening of culture, folklore, dance and music, celebrating our unique culture. Admission is free. For updates and further information, follow us on Instagram, The Chronicles of Kyrie, or call us at 460-5439. See you there.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
The Street 919 FM and the Tobago Updates presents the Tobago Updates Morning Show live simulcast on the Street 919 FM. Start your day with all the information you want and need with the simulcast of the Tobago Updates Morning Show live Mondays to Fridays from 7 a.m. on the Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation.
We know the voice.
Lot of mercy. Kabesi come fi dub it and a rock it and a kick it.
We know the name. Kabesi. What we did not know is Son of the Soil. Artist Kabesi has been battling stage 4 lung cancer. Assemblyman Nigel Tate, Signal Hill Patients Hill, in collaboration with Toya K Entertainment, presents Hope, a benefit concert in aid of Kabesi. Saturday, July 2nd, Signal Hill Comprehensive is the venue. Come and show your support for Kabesi with his friends King David, Mr. Royal, Ziggy Ranking, Prophet Benjamin, 9 Miles International, Isaiah, and many more. Your contribution is 100 TT. Come and support Kabesi.
Well, it's all about Kabesi.
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Pre-qualification notice deadline 30th June 2022. The Tobago Regional Health Authority (TRHA) is updating its current list of pre-qualified contractors, suppliers, consultancy firms and sole traders to ensure compliance with the mandate of the procurement regulations of Trinidad and Tobago. All interested contractors and suppliers desirous of entering into business arrangements with the TRHA are invited to engage in the pre-qualification of suppliers registration process. For more information, visit the following link: trha.page.link/tenders.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Update Morning Show. All right, we want to recognize some of you on the live with us this morning. Didi Vincent, good morning. Sham from Melville, good morning to you. Shuma Marcel, good morning. Sherry Ann Cooper, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for being on the live with us, all right? We're switching gears, viewers. We've got on the program with us this morning Alvian, otherwise known as Al Ligol. Al is in Tobago with us, and he'll tell us a little bit more about, you know, give us the backstory. But this morning he's on the program to chat with us on his new book, Cyber Storm. Yes, so we're going to get some information on that. Alvian, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's really good to have you on the program today. Now, I mean, for those viewers out there who are saying, oh, I remember him, give our viewers the backstory of who you are and what part of Tobago you're from, where you went to school. Just give us a quick backstory.
Well, I originally was in Lescoteau, and I moved to Hope, and I went to Scarborough Methodist. Then from there went on to Scarborough Secondary School.
Right.
At that point in time, you spent 3 years at Scarborough Sec, then you moved to Signal Hill.
That was back in the day, right?
That was back in the days,
yes. You're tipping your age here now, go ahead.
Yes, and then I did CXC at Compre, and right after that, I migrated to the United States, where my mother sent me to go to school. So at Compre, I was very good at electronics.
Right.
Loved electronics. So that kind of propelled me into where I am today with computer security, cybersecurity. That's my kind of a backstory there.
Okay, and that was quite an interesting backstory there. So you were involved, or you had an affinity to electrical stuff.
Yes.
And so, what did you decide to pursue when you got to the U.S.?
Well, my first study was electrical engineering, and while I was going through school, I realized I only needed to do 2 additional classes to graduate with a computer science degree.
Right.
So I decided to stay along and do that, but the most interesting thing is after my first year in college, the professors saw my ability, so they hired me to work as a school adjunct, and my responsibilities were to learn the new programs for the college, and then in the summertime, I teach the professors how to use that program.
Hold up. Let's go back. You were teaching the professors?
Yes. I was teaching the professors how to use these programs. And when school starts back the following year, they are teaching me because I needed the course for to graduate. So it was very interesting.
So you just went through the process?
Yes.
Okay, because this was the means to the end, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Now, let me ask you here. What was it about this area of study that interested you, that intrigued you?
Well, as a kid, I always had a fascination of how things work. I love to take it apart. I want to know how it works. So when I first was introduced to a computer, I was like, how does that work? So I wanted to get to learn of the inner working, and then I learned about how you could make them communicate with each other, even though they are not physically touching.
Right.
And that just sparked my interest, and I keep growing and learning more about that. So it was so that's how I managed to get into it. But now today, now we have the internet. So
Right.
we have computers connected. I'm sure your program here is being broadcast all over
That's
the world
right.
today. So I want to know, how does that work? So that's what brought me into all of this.
All right, so let's talk about this book now, Alvian. So it's Cyberstorm, How to Protect Your Business from a Data Breach and the Resulting Cyberstorm of Fines, Lawsuits, and Customer Loss. Now, we've seen in the U.S., and I'm sure it's happened here in Trinidad and Tobago
Yes.
as well, a breach, cyber breaches that allows information to be accessible all over the world. How does one protect? Because I mean, we put everything out there now, everybody, and this your cell phone has now become your personal computer.
Yes.
We put everything. We put our banking information. Oh my God! No. You know that I'm saying it out loud. It
Yes.
sounds even more frightening.
Yes.
So we put everything on our personal cell phones, which personal computers, which would be our cell phones, not thinking that there could ever be a breach or that we might lose it one day and someone would have access. Give us an idea of what we're looking at.
Well, because of the advancements of technology, technology has come into our lives and it has made our lives a lot easier. Where, like I know, right now we're using the credit cards, we could just tap. You don't need to swipe, all
Right.
of these different things. So these are things that are very convenient. You mentioned your cell phone. When I was growing up, we had to remember telephone numbers. Today, we don't try to remember telephone numbers. You understand?
We don't even remember our parents' cell phone numbers.
Exactly. So because of this, technology has improved, and we have, in our lives, it has just engulfed our lives. So now, people that are hackers, they want this information. They want to know more about you. They want to get money. That's what they're after. So if there's a way that they could steal your money without you seeing them, that's what they're after. Because it's not in the olden days where you stick up with a gun and you
Right.
take your money and you know this person took your money.
Although it still happens.
Even though it still
Right.
happens today. But what has happened is that with technology and with the connection of these computers, these massive networks, people are now taking money and you don't know where they're taking it from or who is taking it. So now it's an entire change of the entire landscape of where people thieve things today. So what has happened now is that people, as you mentioned before, people do share a lot of information about themselves. And social media, it's an environment that encourages us to share. Today, hackers are using this information that you're sharing to know more about you. They're building a profile about you. And for example, I am here in Tobago. I don't have a social media. I did not post anything to say that I am in Tobago today.
Right.
And these are things that hackers look at. And if they know that I'm in Tobago, guess where I'm not? I'm not at home. So my home is available for them to go.
So we put too much out there.
Yes.
On social media.
Yes.
How do we promote? How do we put ourselves out there but still protect ourselves?
Well,
or is there a way of putting ourselves out
Yes.
there yet while protecting ourselves?
Yes, there is a way. So as I mentioned, for example, I'm here in Tobago. So what I would do when I get back home, you post all of everything that you have done on this trip. And
You don't do it while you're away.
Exactly. So now if anyone is studying your profile, they know, well, okay, oh, you're there? Yes. I will tell you, for example, at one point in time, I was in New York, and there was Carnival here. And I was posting, Juve morning, all of these going in town, mud mass and all these. And people are like, are you in Tobago? No, I'm not in Tobago. You understand? So these are things. But the misconception that a lot of people have is that they think these criminals are going after big institutions. And that's the worst thing you could think about, because with larger institutions, they technically have the budget. Most of them do have the budget to protect themselves. But I always use the analogy of a mango tree. All right? We all love mangoes. I love mangoes. And if I walk up to a mango tree I am not going to climb to the top of the mango tree to pick a mango. I will pick the mango that's right at the bottom. And
Easily
that's
accessible.
Exactly. So we call those type of people low-hanging fruits. So they hack if you're willing to share your information, if you're willing to give someone your password, hey, we'll steal from you.
What can a cyber criminal get from a cell phone, from an ordinary
Yeah.
cell phone? What type of information can they get?
Anything that you put on it, they can get it.
From anything, pictures, anything.
Yes, anything you put on it.
Account numbers, anything that you put on it.
Anything you put on it, they can get it, because you have to take the necessary precaution, because the biggest part of cybersecurity is people. My responsibility is to also control people's behavior. So there are people that will go to bad websites. There are people that will, like one of the things, for example, one of the things that people are doing, they will get a phone call on the phone and say, we have a problem with your computer. Please turn it on and let us connect to it, and so forth. And what they do, they turn on their computer and they give the person access.
Once you do that, you give them access.
Yes. So what hackers do with social engineering, they tend to create that need of desperation, that need of urgency, that they will say, for example, you may get an email from your bank stating that we have seen a large purchase from your account. Can you click here to confirm it? You click on it, they ask you to enter your username and password, and then
that's it.
That's it. Now,
and they now have access to not just your data, but your account.
Yes, but the thing about it, that first initial email wasn't real. It was not real. So what I try to tell people is stop for a second, think. Just stop for a second, think. They may present it as a life and death situation, but just stop for a second and think. And once you take that moment to just think about it, you realize that it's not real. You understand? So we try not to don't give out any information. For example, if I call you and I ask you for your NIB number, I will say I'm calling from NIB. You say, well, okay, if you're calling from NIB, you have my NIB number.
That's right.
Can I verify it another way? You understand? I don't want to give you the entire number, and so forth. If you're still not sure, you say, you know what? I have your number. Let me call you back. So you go to the NIB website, you get their number, you call their office and say, hey, I received a call from Mr. John at your branch. Can you transfer me to? Oh, sorry, there's no Mr. John here.
And that's how you can verify.
Yeah, exactly.
How do cyber criminals prey on seniors, let me not say the older, but the more matured folks?
Right.
And is it that they're fully aware that this may be someone in their 50s, 60s, 70s who, is easily accessible or easy prey?
Yes, most times they do know, because the other side of that, like I said, technology has improved so significantly. A lot of times we need to do online purchases with reputable companies. These companies have data breaches. Your information is now shared in the dark web. So these hackers go gather this information, and now they're calling you. Now you, not knowing that, for example, this company had a data breach, they're able to gather, they have this information, they have your username and your password. So now it's a matter of trying this information different places so that they could, they'll build a profile. Today, if you Google your name, you'll see where you come up. You may have information about your age and so forth. So they build all of these profiles about you, and then they know exactly, well, all right, you could afford this amount and you cannot afford this amount. So when they prey on you, they're only trying to take the amount that you could afford. They would not come to you and say, I want $1 million. You're like, okay, go on, take it, go. Yeah, take the information, it doesn't matter. But if they come to you and say, give me $200, you're like, okay, yes, I'll pay it because you can afford it. So that's how they build a profile with you. And that's what it's called social engineering.
And if they take that $200 from 200 persons,
yes,
they're well paid.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, but you were also featured on
MSP
Yeah.
Success Magazine.
That's right.
Yes.
So this is it here. Can we get a shot of this? Can we get a shot of this? I'd love us. Can we get a shot of this? Would love it if we could. All right. You also featured here on the front page of MSP Success. He was the first in his family to go to college. Now, Alvian Ligol, CEO of ABL Computers, is paying it forward. So this is it here. Are we getting that as best we could? Okay. Okay, the blue. We have an issues here with the blue on the cover, but nonetheless, you can see it. This is our Tobago Son of the Soil here. All right. Now, how can persons get a copy of this book? Because I think they should. I mean, this should almost be like the Bible in today's world. We need the Bible. There should be one in every home.
Yes.
But I'm also stating here that there should also be a copy of this in every home. Almost every home throughout the world has a computer. We have access to some form of technology. If not a PC, we've got cell phones, we've got access to some type of device. And if you put it on it, as Al said, if you put it on it, they've got access to it.
Yes.
All right, so I think everyone should have a copy of this. How can they get a copy of this?
Well, this book is available on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon and you search for Cyberstorm, you will see this book. And I'll let you know all proceeds from the book, we have donated it to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's a cancer hospital in the United States. They help kids fight cancer and help their families out. So none of this is coming back to me. And I do encourage everyone to go out and purchase this book, because it's going to a good cause. For me, with the MSP Success, after writing this book, they reached out to me and they wanted to do my entire backstory, where I was coming from. And when I tell them that at the age of 11 or 12, you're given an exam. Yes. Common entrance, yes, yes. And if you fail, you're done with school for life. And they couldn't understand that. Yeah. So when I explained to them that this is where I'm coming from, but I did let them know that it's not like that today.
No, it's
thank
changed.
God,
It has changed.
But the thing about it has been somewhat of a motivation for me, because I realized a lot of my friends were kind of stuck in this. Once you're out of school, there isn't anything much else you could do. So for my company, what we do is at the new kids going off to college, we donate computers to all the kids that are going off to college. So that's how we're encouraging them. And what I always say to them is, remember what we're doing for you or what I'm doing for you. And when you get to that place, reach back and help someone else.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I mean, you certainly believe in giving back. And I want to say good morning this morning. Now, you said say good morning this morning to your mom.
Yes. Hey, Mommy. Yes, my mother has been a great influence, because I have to say, like the first chapter in the book, I said when my mother dropped me off at the airport, she said to me, "Don't come back." And she said, "Oh, why would you say that about me?" But I think for me, that was the greatest motivational speech that she could have given me, because at that point in time in Trinidad and Tobago, there wasn't much future opportunities for us. But since I've come back, I see it has been improving a whole lot, and I must say that they are doing a very good job here, but we still have a long way to go. And I do encourage all the younger generation to really look at what you're doing today and what you don't like, and try to make a path forward to change it for the kids that are coming up, or the younger generation coming up after you. So that's what I will encourage every one of us to do.
Thank you so much, Al. And this is Alvian Ligol, fondly known as Al. You realize I dropped the Alvian a long time ago, so it's Al. All right, so Al, thank you so much for being with us, and all the best to you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, then. Now, viewers, as we switch gears here, we just want to go over to the good stuff. And in our good stuff today, we say congratulations being extended to Ashanti Wilson Campbell on securing a football scholarship from the Wilmington University, Delaware, USA. Ashanti attended the Signal Hill Secondary School during the period 2014 to 2021, and her tenure at this illustrious institution propelled her to reach her highest potential. Because of her prowess in football, she was able to attain the rank of captain of the Signal Hill Secondary School girls football team, where she led the team to victory in the Tobago Zone League. the Intercol competition, the SSFL Big Five champions, and the National Intercol competition in the years 2018 and 2019. If that was not enough for this daughter of Signal Hill Secondary School, Miss Wilson Campbell went on to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the CONCACAF Under-20 Women's Championship in the Dominican Republic in February of 2022. So congratulations going out to you this morning, Ashanti. Yes, Compre, all the way. Just needed to say that. Julian isn't here this morning, so I needed to put that in. All right, so lots more coming up on the program. When we come back, viewers, we're going to be chatting with Tima, and they're going to give us some more information on how we can be better prepared for the next few days and the season, as the weather pattern seems to be all over. All right, so remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
We know the voice.
Lot of mercy. Kabesi comfy dub it and a rock it and a kick it.
We know the name. Why? Kabesi. What we did not know is son of the soil. Artist Kabesi has been battling stage 4 lung cancer. Assemblyman Nigel Tate, Signal Hill Patients Hill, in collaboration with Toya K Entertainment, presents Hope, a benefit concert in aid of Kabesi. Saturday, July 2nd, Signal Hill Comprehensive is the venue. Come and show your support for Kabesi with his friends King David, Mr. Royal, Ziggy Rankin, Prophet Benjamin, 9 Miles International, Isaiah, and many more. Your contribution is 100 TT. Come and support Kabesi.
Well, it's all about Kabesi.
Advertise with Tobago Updates. Call 284-6597. If you have a small or large business, we can get your information in front of the masses. Reach our rapidly growing viewership on Facebook and YouTube. Promote your brand in Trinidad and the Caribbean through M&E TV Now and Gayel. Yes, we can build unique ads for your business. Call now 284-6597 and advertise with us.
Good morning. Good morning. Put a smile on your
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Staying Alive, the benefit concert.
If you know, yeah, then you know, yeah.
Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The Giants of Trinidad and Tobago on one stage. Guess the Band, Freetown Collective, Three Canal, Orange Sky, Machelle Montano. Plus, many more artists to be announced. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com. All Haagen-Dazs outlets nationwide. And Ojo World, Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The musical giants of Trinidad and Tobago, conquering all the obstacles. Staying Alive, the concert.
Are you an artist, reader, or passionate about culture? Then join us on Saturday, 2nd July from 3 p.m. for the official Tobago book launch of the Chronicles of Kyrie. Held at One Love Arts, Atelier and Emporium, located at Wallfield Trace, Canby, Tobago. An evening of culture, folklore, dance and music, celebrating our unique culture. Admission is free. For updates and further information, follow us on Instagram, The Chronicles of Kyrie, or call us at 460-5439. See you there.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning, we are chatting with members of TEMA and the Met Office. So on set with me at this time is Zainara Llewellyn, who is the Corporate Communications Officer attached to TEMA, that is the Tobago Emergency Management Agency. And on the line, we've got Christopher Sinclair, who is the supervisor at the Met Office Tobago Station. Good morning and welcome to you, Zainara and Mr. Sinclair.
Good morning and thank you for having us.
All right, now I want to chat this morning with Mr. Sinclair first. Mr. Sinclair, we have you on the line. Yes, we do. All right, so give us an idea of what we're talking about this morning. Now, yesterday we would have seen some heavy rainfall throughout Tobago and Trinidad as well. And there was some advisories being circulated via social media. However, we're seeing, you can clear this up for us. Is it that Tobago is not at risk? Is it that Tobago is at risk? Because after last night, there was no rainfall, no noticeable rainfall last night, and as far as I can tell at this point. So you can clear this up for us. Tell us what's happening.
All right. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, everyone. What is happening is that we had a tropical wave that had passed through yesterday.
Right.
And that wave had moved forward. Behind that wave is what we call a feature that very active, another tropical wave that is very active, that we are monitoring, that has a 90% over the 5 days. Well, let me start with 2 days. Over a 48-hour period, it has a 70% chance of developing into a tropical storm. And I would have loved to show you my screen.
Okay, go ahead. We're getting a glimpse. Go ahead, yes.
Right, and this is the, okay, let me blow it up a bit. This is the wave that has a 70% chance over the next 24 hours, 48 hours of becoming a tropical cyclone. Just ahead of that, you would have seen where the tropical wave that passed us last night is now in the Caribbean Sea.
Right.
So in between the both systems, you have a clearing, and that is typical because these systems are what we call low pressure systems. And so when you have two low pressure systems so close to each other, what usually happens is that you have a sort of clearing, where you have a high pressure area
Right.
that gives fairly clear weather. So in between, so don't get fooled by the clear weather. That system is right behind us, the tropical wave that we expect to uh, develop, that has a 70% chance of developing into a tropical cyclone, is right behind there. And because this system has formed so low down, right, well, lower than normal, um, it has, by the time it starts to curve, and the track would have shown curvature, by the time it starts to curve, it could still impact Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if you are seeing the screen here.
Right.
Right? It could still impact Trinidad and Tobago. Normally, if they form at about, let us say, 10 degrees north, you will find that it will, by the time they curve, they usually miss Tobago. And that's why sometimes they say Trinidad and Tobago, God had to be a Trini, because because by the time they start the curve, they will miss us. But just because this one has formed low, we are in the likelihood path to experience, even if not the center of the storm, but severe weather.
All right, so let me ask you here now. From tropical storm, sorry, tropical wave into tropical storm, should it escalate into that tropical storm, what could we expect?
You can expect high winds, high gusting winds. Winds in a tropical storm are usually above 39 miles per hour. And if you are getting these type of winds, you can expect, of course, fallen trees and roofs blowing off, etc. And of course, it depends on the intensity sometimes of the clouds within there, what we call cumulonimbus clouds, the thunder clouds inside of there, and the downdraft that they would give, that would provide the gusty winds. But and of course, we do not the how should I put it, the 39 miles per hour, it is not limited to that. So, of course, it could go beyond that, because it becomes a hurricane um, when it exceeds 74 miles per hour. All right. So, between 34 and between, sorry, 39 and 73 miles per hour, it will be a tropical storm. So, anytime, anywhere in between there, it could be it is classified a tropical storm. What we have happening is that the National Hurricane Center would have told us that they are sending a reconnaissance airport into this system later this evening, so that we will get a more precise update on the system. But the system is expected to pass the latest bulletin from the Trinidad and Tobago Met Services says that the system will has the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service has been monitoring the progress of this wave, um, and at 2 a.m. today, the axis of the wave was at 45 west. We now at 8 o'clock in the morning, we'd expect that it would move certain amount of degrees forward, and showers and thunderstorm activity associated with this tropical wave located 950 miles east-southeast of the Windward Islands has increased. The environmental conditions appear conducive for further development, and when they say that, they mean when we look at the synergy of the atmosphere, the dynamics of the atmosphere, it means that you can have what we call upper level support by having winds in the upper levels that would allow the system to develop further, and also at the lower levels where what we call convergent winds, right? Yeah. So that is so they have put out a warning. The chance of tropical cyclone formation is high, and regardless of development, whether it becomes a storm before uh, passing us or after passing us, regardless of development, the significant moisture is associated with the system, and we expect heavy rainfall and gusty winds in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Tobago would have recently acquired a radar system. So, what is happening that we are poised right now that when the system gets within 120 kilometers of us, we will be able to see the system on the radar,
Right.
right? And I'll just give you a glimpse of the radar
And you'll be able to
operating.
give updates.
Yes, right, and
Right.
give more precise updates as
Right.
to what areas will be actually affecting. Whether it's we can expect what we can expect at Charlottesville, probably Scarborough, and so as we monitor the clouds coming across on the
Right.
radar, this is
Yeah,
the
we're
radar
seeing that.
display. Mhm.
We are seeing that definitely. Thank you so much there, Mr. Sinclair. And we're going to check back in with you in just a little bit. So we're going to chat a little bit at this time with Zainara Llewellyn. And as I mentioned earlier, Zainara is the communications officer for TEMA. Zainara, and I know we got some good information there from Mr. Sinclair out of the Met Office, Ms. Llewellyn, sorry. You know, TEMA would have posted quite recently a list of emergency numbers or emergency shelters for Tobago. Give us an idea of where some of these shelters are located, and if you've got any other information based on them.
One thing that TEMA, good morning viewers, one thing that TEMA did is try to choose shelters in if not all, but most of the villages in Tobago. We would have strategically placed the shelters at maybe some middle areas. So let's say Glamorgan. We don't probably have one in Glamorgan Community Center, but the closer would be Pembroke Community Center.
Right.
So even if it isn't in a village, we have in the next closest village. So what we're trying to urge people to do is find the shelter that's closest to you.
To know it beforehand.
To know it beforehand.
And not wait until something happens
Right.
to wonder, where is the nearest shelter?
Yes. So one thing that we do at TEMA, we send this information out to everyone. So we would have shared it on our Facebook page, we shared it on our Instagram, we have shared it with ODPM, because we know that there are Tobagonians living in Trinidad, and if for some reason they are on the island, they would want to know where these shelters are. We would have also sent it to all our shelter managers, which are the presidents of the communities and the village councils. So we liaise closely with the Division of Community Development. So once we send it out to them, the information is spread, a wider spread. Some of our shelters are primary schools as well. So we also send it to the principal of the primary schools. We send it to Division of Education. We send it to all the divisions so they can also send it in their divisions. We send it to the area reps so they could share within the villages so persons will know beforehand. So some of the shelters we have are like John Dial Multipurpose Center. We have Spring Garden, Wim, Union, Mongrace. We know that's a lot of villages together. So that is the Mongrace Community Center. We have Speyside High School, we have Pembroke Community Center. I mean, once you think of any village in Tobago, most likely if it's not a community center, they have a multi-purpose facility, or there's a high school or a primary school. The first shelter we really think about is the community center. That's the primary shelter. Right. And if for some reason that we have a devastating disaster in the island, then we now go to primary schools and we go to secondary schools.
All right, once it goes beyond...
Yes, once it goes beyond the maximum capacity.
All right. Now, quite recently, TEMA would have hosted the National Disaster Prevention Preparedness Month. And we saw where there was a display, a lovely display, I think right here at the Port Mall it was.
Yes.
And I remember distinctly hearing about a grab-and-go bag. So tell us about that. And I think that even came up last night in conversation. When we saw what was happening with the weather. So give us an idea of, some things that the public can do to prepare themselves. It's not just about having an umbrella. We don't have access to boats, but there are things that we can do.
A grab and go bag is essentially a grab and go bag. You must have a bag that is big enough to hold items that you need to survive for 3 days, essentially. Because most time when these things happen, when these adverse weather happens, it lasts maybe 3 to 7 days.
Right.
So ideally, we try to tell persons to have these items 3 to 7 days. That could last for that period of time. So we're thinking medication, you have tin food, you have your water, flashlights, you have a battery-operated radio, you have your charging devices for your phones, laptop, tablets. If you have elderly persons, make sure you have their medication. If they have special needs, if you have children, you make sure you walk with snacks and you have games to keep them entertained if you have to go to a shelter. We don't want persons to just have these items. You have to now have these items and pack it in the bag and put it in an area where it's easily accessible.
No, you spoke about charging devices or charged devices. So is it that, I mean, because you're not going to charge a battery pack and it's going to stay charged?
No.
So you've got to keep checking on these
yes,
things?
you have to keep checking it. Make sure you have battery as well. That is one of the most important things. People think, okay, I have a battery-operated radio. It has batteries. Make sure you have packs of batteries on standby.
Extra batteries?
Yes. Make sure you have your charger. That is one thing people think, oh, I have my phone. Let me just run. But then if it is for some reason something happens, or even they have these portable charging things that you walk with.
Charging devices.
Yes, if you have those, it's recommended that you walk with those as well. Because we know maybe some months ago we had a power outage in Trinidad and Tobago. And we don't want that happening, that persons can't get information that is needed. So if that happens, then you have your battery operated radio to get the information that you need.
All right. All right, so get that grab and go bag. And I think if ever time we needed a grab, it's now more than ever, because we're looking at the effects of climate change. We're looking at so many different things happening, coming our way that we never saw before or would not have expected. So this is a good opportunity for Tobagonians, and those of you viewing wherever you are, whatever country, you're in the Caribbean, wherever you are, to have these measures in place. Zainara, as well, give us a contact for TEMA, and how can persons get some more information from, as it pertains to what we need to be aware of?
TEMA's number is 660-7489, extension 2043. That is the CERT's Mariah number. They are there 24/7. If it's within 8 to 4, it should be 660-7489, and you can use any extension and get any one of us at the agency. You could check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page, all of our social media. If you need TEMA to come in and sensitize your division, your agency, feel free to call in our department, and we are more than willing to come and help, get you prepared, show you the necessary stuff that you may need to get prepared for this adverse weather and any adverse weather that is expected during the hurricane season.
All right, and there's also the Facebook page, yeah?
Yes, we have a Facebook page as well.
All right, well, thank you so much, Zainara, for chatting with us this morning, and Mr. Christopher Sinclair for chatting with us. Mr. Sinclair, Supervisor, Met Office, thank you so much for giving us the information. All right, but of course, we're going to be following things as, the days go by, 48 hours, 48 into 72 hours. So we're going to be checking up on things, all right? And we're praying for the best. We are praying for the best. All right, well, we head over now, viewers, to Tobago Notes.
It's going to take $3.97 billion in fiscal 2023 to continue making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. That figure is the budgetary request being made by Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Honorable Fali Augustine. The Chief Secretary delivered his inaugural budget presentation titled Towards a Smarter, Greener and More Autonomous Tobago. Mr. Augustine wants $3.07 billion towards recurrent expenditure. A further $900 million has been estimated for development expenditure. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection is projected to receive the largest share of recurrent expenditure. It's followed by the Division of Education, Research and Technology. The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development is also assigned a significant portion of the proposed recurrent budgetary allocation.
Education, Research and Technology, 485.06 million. Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, 161.34 million. Infrastructure, Quarries and Environment, 455.36 million. Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, 250.98 million. Health, Wellness and Social Protection, 918.40 million.
Development expenditure has been earmarked for several areas. These include tourism, food security, housing and roadworks.
The estimates for the development program for fiscal 2023 amounts to 900 million. This represents an increase of 636 million over the parliamentary allocation for fiscal 2022. The estimates are disaggregated as follows. Pre-investment, 3.40 million. Economic infrastructure, 360.27 million. Social infrastructure, 400.63 million. And multi-sectorial and other services, 135.7 million.
59.59 million is requested for the Unemployment Relief Program URP and 53.17 million for the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program CPEP. The Finance Secretary highlighted some avenues for funding the THA's 2022 to 2023 budgetary proposal.
We are actively pursuing the PPP modalities of financing to execute some of our housing development projects, as well as other major public infrastructure works. Let today's budget presentation serve as a public notice that we are calling investors far and wide to come and do business with the THA for Tobago. Another possible source of financing of the 2023 estimates will take the form of foreign direct investments on the island and funds mobilized through engagements of persons in the diaspora. Attracting FDIs in the capital producing sectors will be a key priority of this administration.
Mr. Augustine hopes that people in all sectors will work towards building a greater Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago and viewers, yes. And now at this time we head over to Tobago back in the day. Now last week, this is today. I really want to go, yes, let's go back to last week's photo. Last week's photo, and this is last week's photo. This was Friday's photo. And we left you stewing over the weekend to see if you could figure out where this picture was taken how many years ago. Well, apparently, viewers, it is the president's house located at Government House Road, Tobago. I am in shock. Looking at this, all I kept seeing was some location up at the fort. But it is Government House Road, President's House, Government House Road. And now we head over to today's photo. So today's photo, I'm looking at the wheel and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm not even going to say because where I had in mind, apparently it's not there. So viewers, let's hear you. Where say you? Where say you? Some people are saying, okay, I see somebody saying, isn't this up at the old hospital? Yeah, Lyndon Lash. Lyndon said, seriously, President House? Yes. But this particular picture here. Now I see Dave Elliott saying Roxborough. Dave Elliott saying Roxborough. Any other views in anybody? Okay, so I'm going to give you some time. We'll tell you tomorrow where it is, but it's certainly not where I was thinking. All right? No, it's not Roxborough, Dave. No, Dave, it's not Roxborough. Okay, so we're going to give you another chance. So between today and tomorrow, you're going to give it to us. You're going to give it to us, and hopefully somebody's going to get it right. You know, I think there should be, I need to talk to the director of Tobago Updates. There need to be some prizes, you know, some giveaways to this, yeah? All right, yeah, giveaways to the segment. All right, so we want to leave it there for today. We want to thank you for joining us so much, for all our guests who were on the program today. And to all of you who were locked on your television sets, on the radio, on YouTube and Facebook. We say thank you to you for being on the program with us. We trust that you have a safe day, and we will see you tomorrow. Hopefully we see Julian Skeet sometime this week. All right, so we're heading over to Tobago Notes with, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. That's GMT. GMT with Candace. So have a really great day. Stay safe on the roads. Remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance. So we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning.
Staying Alive, the benefit concert.
If you know, yeah, then you know, yeah.
Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The Giants of Trinidad and Tobago on one stage. Guess the band, Freetown Collective, Three Canal, Orange Sky, Machelle Montano. Plus, many more artists to be announced. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com. All Häagen-Dazs outlets nationwide. And Ojo World, Saturday, 9th July at O2 Park, Shagaramas. The musical giants of Trinidad and Tobago, conquering all the obstacles. Staying Alive, the concert.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go. It's a brand new.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With a perfect conversation to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson. And let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. TEMA and the TNT Meteorological Office are monitoring a weather system west of Tobago. It is a strong tropical wave that has the potential of developing into a cyclone. According to the TNT Met Office, it has a 40% chance of becoming a tropical storm within the next 48 hours. Although there is no tropical storm watch or warning at this time, Tobago will experience the effects of the weather pattern from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Heavy rainfall and gusty winds are expected, and the public is advised to take the necessary precaution. Now, an ex-Special Reserve police officer was charged with encouraging a person to make a false report. The offender is ex-SRP woman constable Renisha Williams from Buku. According to police reports, Williams attempted to pervert the course of justice by counseling a person into making a false report. Investigations by the Professional Standards Bureau led to the arrest. Williams was undergoing training at the police academy in St. James when she was arrested. She will appear before the magistrate court today. Meanwhile, opposition leader Kama Prasad Bisessa retains leadership of the United National Congress. The party held its internal elections yesterday. Prasad Bisessa secured a landslide victory against her opponents, former Health Minister Dr. Fuad Khan, former MP Ramona Ramdale, and former MP Glenn Ramadasing. However, there was a low voter turnout as only 10% of members showed up to cast their votes. There were reports of voter irregularities from Ramdale, while other candidates hope the membership chose wisely about the future of the party. Prasad Bisessa says now that elections are over, she is ready to work with all within the party, including her opponents, on the way forward. All right, and that was your news in 90 seconds. And of course, we see some interesting developments happening out in Trinidad, especially with the UNC now, with a lot of people saying, you know, it's about time for a change in the leadership of the UNC. Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisessa held the reins since 2010. And I mean, aside from, you know, some early election wins, the party has not been very successful in the recent elections. And there are many that were calling for her removal. However, it seems as though she will continue. And, you know, when you look around the rest of the Caribbean, we're seeing that, you know, there's been a change in leadership, whereas people are electing younger, more vibrant leaders. We saw on Thursday in Grenada, they had their national elections, where we had Mr. Mitchell being elected as their new prime minister, a young man in his 40s, taking the reins over that country. Now, I mean, that's been what's happening throughout the Caribbean. However, I guess the UNC has decided that they were going to continue with the reins and continue with Mrs. Kama Prasad Bisessa leading the party. Now, I mean, of course, we are continuing, you know, our focus on the budgets today. You know, well, we have the budget debates that starts up again tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to. You know, we have the promise of getting some more details about the policies that were announced by Chief Secretary Fadi Augustine on Thursday. He announced many policies that would be taking the Assembly forward. However, we didn't get that much details during his presentation, but we are looking forward to seeing what happens then. So, you know, stay tuned, and we'll be bringing to you all those updates as the week progresses, as the debate progresses. It's going to be some interesting discussions that will be coming out in the House. Meanwhile, I am seated here with some members of the Progressive Democratic Party who will be talking to us about a special sports day coming up. So on set with us, let's see, we have Miss Natasha Second, a special good morning to you. And let me just get the names there. And then, of course, Miss Natasha Second is the General Secretary of the PDP. And we also have Mr. Andre Cowan, who was the Deputy Chairman of the PDP. And I just want to wish you all a happy morning and welcome to welcome to Good Morning Tobago. How are you guys this morning?
Very good. Good morning. Good morning and thank you. Good morning. And while we are here, let me just say a special good morning to our political leader, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, the Chief Secretary of Tobago, Mr. Fadi Augustine, Also, good morning to our executive. Good morning again to the crew, Sherian and the others. Good morning Tobago. Good morning Trinidad. And good morning to those who are looking on at us on the net, on the World Wide Web. And let me say a special good morning to my sister out there in New York. All day, she's always locked on.
Great. Well, good morning and welcome to each and every one of you. Now, before we get started, I just want to get from you guys just a brief comment on, the budget that we had yesterday. How was it in your opinion? Did it live up to your expectations as a party?
Well, for me, it bypassed the expectation. It was great. I like the raise in salary, that was given to those that, the CPEP workers and those in agriculture, so they can be up to standard with everybody, that raise of standard of living.
Yeah. All right, great.
Yeah, I felt it was a really thorough budget, very forward thinking, and all of Tobago was able to receive something from it, whether it's the education sector, the youths, the elderly, the special needs persons who have been neglected for decades. There was something for everyone.
All right, great. So I want to thank you so much for those comments. Now, we are here, of course, to talk about a PDP Sports Day coming up. So, and I guess I will go to Mr. Cowan first. So can you tell me about what is this Sports Day that we have coming up?
So that Sports Day, the Fun and Family Day, it's about bringing our Spartans together, bringing us together for a time of fun. Last night we had our Thanksgiving service, so we gave thanks, and we are now coming together to have fun together. So we want to invite all of Tobago and all our Spartans to come together. It is East meet West. So we come in together in a showdown, a competition amongst the constituencies.
All right, so Ms. Seconds, I want you to tell me a little bit about that. Why is it so important to have this concept of the East versus the West?
Right, well, remember we have to always remain competitive. We have to keep the spirits alive in among ourselves as Spartans and so on. As Andre said, we met yesterday. We gave thanks for our victory because it's been a hard road. We had 3 elections in under 2 years. So we want to keep the ground motivated. We want to stay together, and we want to also release some of that stress and that tension that we would have stored up during the pandemic and during that fierce competition for election. East versus West, remember we have 2 constituencies, and we do have other elections to look forward to besides, the THA, which we just, won. We do have a whole West constituency and a whole East constituency. And the agent of competition tends to motivate people. So we wanted to just add that element of competition of the entire West Block versus the entire East Block. So on the 3rd of July, we're looking to go up to Sid Gray Sporting Complex, where the whole thing started with our political leader, Watson Duke. So the entire West Posse is going to gather at 8:30 at the Dwight York Stadium, and with police escort, we're going to take the heat up to Roxborough and bring the competition. We're going to have novelty races. We're going to begin with dance pass. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, nice wholesome fun for all members of the family. So we want all of Tobago to come out.
All right, so Mr. Cowan, now can you tell me a little bit about why it is so important for you guys to do something like this?
Well, it's important to keep the people together, keep us grounded, keep our Spartans happy, yes. So we must get together, come together with camaraderie, and to show that togetherness and that love. And let me dare say, anybody can come to this family day. You don't have to be a Spartan. Anybody can come to this family day. So we join together to have fun, love, and enjoyment.
All right. And Ms. Second, can you tell me a little bit about what special things can we expect on this Family and Fun Day?
Yes. Well, to begin with, each of the districts, we will be wearing our own colors. So you have different colors assigned to each district, headed by each assemblyman.
When we get there, the games would include, apart from our dance pass, which would be very exciting, and people can compete for best flag prize and biggest posse prize. We're going to have games like tug of war, mommy and me, wet and wild. It's going to be a really fun-filled day. The action groups have the responsibility of vending, so people can approach their action group. You can use the opportunity, join your action group, get involved if you want to vend on the day. So we have a fun-packed day. We're going to also have a couple of surprise artists. So we just want everybody to come out and have some fun.
And no hints.
No hints.
All right. So, Mr. Cowan, can you tell me, like, how's things been for the party since the victory? I know things got busy and it went straight into governance and so on. But how are things been going?
Well, the party has been, things have been all right. We were off to a slow start, and the build up, and we are taking it to a different level, right? So the party is on a good footing. You can see as evident in the budget presentation, how things are going. So that's where we are.
Right. And then was governance anything that you expected, Ms. Second, having, as the party being so new to governance, was it what you guys expected? And how is the party dealing with just being in governance?
Right. A number of people talk about how the assemblymen are neophytes in terms of this is the first time that they're actually leading different divisions. But they're surrounded by a number of technocrats and persons who have tremendous depth in terms of experience and education. So the party isn't just consisting of individuals who would have been facing this for the first time. There are people who have been in the public service for 20, 30 years. So we're accustomed to bureaucracy. We know what it takes to run a government. So we had the right balance of people. Did we expect some resistance in terms of some of the long-standing persons who have been in the THA? Of course. And every change movement requires some measure of management. So that's what we bring to the table, the ability to manage the change that Tobago needs.
All right, great. Now, getting back to the Family and Fun Day, we also know that the PDP is growing in Trinidad. Now, would Trinidadians be able to be a part of this Family Fun Day?
Sure, of course. They are invited to be here. They are part of the PDP movement. They are Spartans. Trinidad would be here. Trinidad would be here. And it's important to come out and see the kind of action. Imagine the political leader, on a tug of war, or his hands tied behind his back and trying to eat some melon, and that kind of fun that we're going to be having. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's important to come and see, the East versus West. And I know that the East is trying to outdo the West, but we are coming with the best. So.
All right, and I mean, so what else can we expect? Like, what other events do you guys have in train for the PDP? I know, we've heard the party has been a little bit quiet for now, for the last few months, and I'm guessing that's because of, just getting into governance and all of that entails. But what can we expect from the party in the next few months?
We want to have a massive recruitment drive, obviously, membership, enrollment, and so on. Training, because if we are going to be part of the leadership team that is going to lead Tobago to autonomy, then we have to do a lot of institutional strengthening. And we're going to begin with our party. So the action groups, the leaders of our action groups, we're going to have transformational leadership training across the board. From the secretary of an action group to the chairman, everybody is going to learn the systems. Everybody is going to learn what it takes to be effective leaders. Because once we are the effective leaders, we will be able to motivate Tobagonians across, whether they're in Tobago, they live in Trinidad, across the diaspora, to do just very well. And we'll be able to make full use of what we presented in the budget. It's wonderful to have an academic document. To have the people who can actually enact them and implement them, that would be perfect.
And then how are you guys feeling about the growth of the PDP in Trinidad? Like what are your reactions to it? To the reception that it's having?
Well, I mean, it's not easy to make a breakthrough in another area. And I mean, in Trinidad, you know, and when you see the kind of togetherness and the movement that is taking place in Trinidad, I mean, we on a good footing, and we just have to continue. We're going to continue along that path. And I mean, the party is there for everybody. It's there for Trinidad and Tobago, and you know, the intention is to make everybody feel a part of this thing.
And how do you feel about the upcoming elections? Do you think the PDP is going to make some inroads there on the national scale?
We've already made inroads simply by being in the space. We've never had a Tobago-based party take the fight to Trinidad. So it's already exciting. It's already causing a buzz on the ground and across the globe. Everywhere where our people live, they are excited about it. So we have already made some impact. Whatever results we come with in terms of the actual election, we'll be grateful for.
All right, great.
And what is important is that, I mean, this is a Tobago-based party. The movement started here, and we are not pegged to any other. I mean, during the election here, all kind of stories, and they try to link you to some, you know, another party, other parties, and things. We are just Tobago-based party, and we're gonna move on, and we're gonna be focusing on Tobago. We have to get that autonomy for Tobago. Tobago has to be different. It has to be different. And we're going to make that change through the PDP. That's the vehicle that's going to be used now to make that change.
And of course, one of those motivating factors is through this Family and Fun Day. So I just want you guys to just give the viewers just a little bit of details on how they can get involved with the Family Fun Day.
Well, all they need to do is on Sunday, the 3rd, meet us at the Dwight York Stadium, and the convoy leaves there, and we head up to Sid Gray. We leave there in a convoy fashion, and we head up to Sid Gray, and we start at 10 a.m. sharp, and we have lots of different games that fun games that people could be part of. We should be having the bouncy castle so that the kids could be part of that as well.
All right, great. Is there anything that you might like to add, Ms. Chance?
Second.
Yes.
I want to just say, you know, the elections are over in terms of what took place in Tobago, and now is a time for healing and a time for Tobagonians to get together and just have some fun, let their hair down and have some fun. So we want to see everybody coming to take part, everybody participating. So we're looking forward to everybody heading to Roxborough, Sunday the 3rd.
All right, great.
Come and be part of that action. We in the West meet the East.
You know, I am from the East too. You know, I was born in Roxborough. I find you're West in it.
So decide which side you want to be on from now.
I will decide, but I find
you can't be on both sides.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So awesome rivalry.
Yeah. We're gonna have that.
All right, great viewers. Well, it's a lot to look forward to on Sunday. So get yourself together, get your families together, and come out and be a part of the Family Fun Day. And like they said, you don't have to be a member of the party. Just come out and have fun. Just come out and have fun. All right, so viewers, I just want to thank you so much for joining us this morning for Good Morning Tobago. It's been a pleasure being with you. And tune in again tomorrow, because we'll be back again tomorrow with some more wonderful conversations with you all. So let's remember to have a wonderful, safe and productive day, and to stay updated with Tobago Updates.
Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go! It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and